Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to y'all as the Big D. And this time around, I bring to you a review of Dario Argento's Suspiria from 1977, which I just finished watching a second time. Now, this did start growing on me when I first watched it, when I bought it from Amazon last month. And now it's grown on me a little more. And I'm actually liking this. It's probably one of the most amazing supernatural flicks, well, classic flicks I have ever seen. I must admit it was very good, actually. Now, anyway, it's directed by Dario Argento, who had recently done several other Italian flicks, and of course he's an Italian director. He also co-wrote the screenplay with Daria Nicolodi, partially based on an essay written in 1845. Now, the film stars Jessica Harper as an American ballet student named Susie, who transfers to a prestigious dance academy in Germany, but realizes after a series of brutal murders that the academy is a front for a supernatural conspiracy. Also featuring Stefania Cassini, Flavio Bucci, Miguel Bosé, Alida Valli, Udo Kier, and Joan Bennett in her final film role as Madame Blanc. Now, I'm going to tell you some more stuff about it, but if you've not seen this movie, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to stop this movie before I go on with the review, because it's the whole movie I'm going to bring up. Okay, here we go. You've been warned. Now, I'm sure lots of you horror fanatics have watched this. I know Drew from Hey, Isn't That the Fun? Graham is definitely familiar with this, and I'm sure several others are familiar with this. So, here we go. Now, it starts on a stormy night, and we meet our main character, Susie Banyan, a young American ballet student who arrives during a torrential downpour to study at the co-ed Freiburg Dance Academy, a prestigious dance school. Now, upon arrival, she encounters another student named Patricia, who is fleeing in terror, and, well, Susie is refused entry into the school, forcing her to stay at a motel in town until the next morning. Patricia, meanwhile, takes a refuge at a friend's apartment, and reveals something sinister is going on at the school before locking herself in the bathroom. And then after that, she's ambushed by an unseen assailant who manages to drag her up to the roof of the building and is horrifically slain and hung and thrown through the building's aperture. I can't really pronounce that. I apologize. As her friend attempts to alert other tenants, her friend is impaled and killed by falling debris. The next morning, Susie arrives back at the school, and there she meets Miss Tanner, one of the head instructors, as well as Madame Blanc, the school's deputy headmistress. So Tanner introduces Susie to her roommate Olga, as well as Sarah. Now, sometime later, Susie has an unsettling encounter with one of the school's matrons and Blanc's nephew, Albert. Before losing consciousness during a dance class, she later discovers from Blanc that Olga has thrown her out of her apartment, forcing her to stay at the school. However, she discovers that Sarah is in a neighboring room, and soon she and Susie become friends. One night while they're preparing for supper, a lot of maggots start raining down from the ceiling, seemingly caused by rotting food in the egg, forcing the students into one of the dance studios to sleep. And during the night, an unseen woman enters the room to lie down on one of the cots. So Sarah becomes frightened by the hoarse and unnatural breathing of this mysterious woman. Sometime later, the school's blind pianist, Daniel, is suddenly fired by Miss Tanner when it's discovered that his German shepherd bit Albert. And that same night, Daniel is stalked by an unseen force while walking through a plaza before his dog turns on him and rips his jaw, and that's that's gotta hurt. Yeah, that is freaky. Now, of course, I did see this because this is actually, I could see this is actually unrated and what have you, and not rated R because it doesn't have an R rating on here, so this is apparently unrated. Can you believe that? I can't. I'm just playing with y'all. So meanwhile at the school, Sarah reveals to Susie that she was the one on the intercom the night Patricia was murdered. And she also tells her that Patricia was behaving strangely before her murder and that she had written down notes that have since gone missing. Sadly, Susie loses consciousness, and Sarah is forced to flee when an unseen assailant enters the room, and it pursues her throughout, cornering her in the attic, but she manages to lock herself in a room, climbing through a small window leading into another room, but before she can even make an escape, she becomes entangled in a pit of razor wire, and the pursuer enters and slashes her throat. Yep, killing her. The next morning, Susie questions Tanner about Sarah's disappearance and reveals that Sarah has run away. So, a little suspicious, Susie contacts Sarah's friend and former psychiatrist, Frank Mendel. He reveals that the school was established by a Greek immigrant named Helena Marcos, who was allegedly thought to have been a witch. And Susie also converses with Professor Milius, a professor of the occult. He reveals that a coven of witches can only survive with the power of their leader, a true witch whom they draw their power from. Susie returns to the school, but discovers everyone is gone, having left to see the Bolshoi ballet. She disposes her food and drink. The food goes down into the can, and the drink in the sink. Before following the noise of footsteps to Blanc's office, remembering the words secret and iris from the night Patricia was murdered, Susie is able to discover a hidden door, activated by turning the blue iris on a mural in Blanc's office. Soon, Susie enters the corridor and discovers the instructors, led by Blanc, plotting her demise. Albert discovers Susie and alerts one of the servants to her presence. Susie flees, but soon she discovers Sarah's disfigured corpse and ducks into another room. She notices the same woman with the hoarse breathing in the room with her asleep, and quickly deduces is in fact Helena Marcos. As she attempts to flee, Marcos is suddenly woken from her slumber and taunts Susie before reanimating Sarah's corpse to murder her. Flashes of lightning inadvertently reveal Marcos, and Susie impales her through the neck with a decorative knife, ultimately killing her and causing Sarah's possessed corpse to vanish. And Susie ultimately makes her escape. The school begins to crumble around her, and she watches as Blanc, Tanner, and the rest of the coven perish without Marcos. Yeah, that part is awesome. Stuff gets blown up, they break, explode, everything. The film ends as Susie escapes into the night with the school being burned completely. Well, I think completely, because we just saw it through the windows. Now then, could I recommend this, even if you are a horror fanatic but if you've heard of the movie, but you watch this without hearing my warning, I'd say, hell yeah, you need to see Suspiria. I think it's really good. Another thing I liked about Suspiria was the soundtrack, the score, which was done by international rock band Goblin, or Goblins as it was credited as, along with special arrangement by Dario Argento himself. Now, Goblin had also worked on the music for another one of Argento's flicks, and that was 1975's Deep Red, which I have watched. I might review it sometime in the future. I'm still thinking of planning to watch some more of Argento's work. Maybe not so many. I have been thinking about maybe others like maybe opera and maybe I think he also worked on that Phenomena. I think he also worked on Phenomena. We'll see. But for now, the original Suspiria is a classic, and I really do like it. Now, in 2018, there was a remake that starred Dakota Johnson, and I know it's on Prime since Amazon Studios had produced it, but I have not seen it yet. I might watch it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to review it just yet. I want to try and watch it, though. But anyway, Suspiria is definitely good. If you don't have this in your collection, you should. Now, this may be the DVD. Now, I do know that not so long ago that they released it on Blu-ray, Synopsis Films, and also on special 4K Ultra HD, which had some pretty good stuff. Now, I wish I had those, but my PlayStation 3 doesn't play many Blu-rays, and, well, yeah, you'll probably know the rest of the story. But anyway, that's going to do it for my review of Suspiria. Tell me what you thought about this movie, the original Suspiria, in the comments section. Like and subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And if you liked what you saw, check out these other vids. In the top left-hand corner is my unpackaging of the Conjuring double feature that I did the other day. And in the top right corner is my recent ranking of top horror flicks from 2019. And in the bottom right-hand corner is my, of course... No, wait a minute. Let me start over. I'm getting things mixed up. Yeah, the top left-hand corner is the Conjuring unpackaging. The top right-hand corner will be my top horror flicks of 2019, and the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can go to my channel and to subscribe as well for more good fun and everything you want to hear on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.